Hi, I'm Dale Kobayashi from the Hawaii State House of Representatives. I represent District 23, which is basically Manoa Valley, but also parts of Punahou University, parts of Kaimiki as well. It's uh, my first term of office that I just finished. And I just want to give you a little sense for some things you're interested in as far as why I do what I do, what I think about my job. Um, Briefly, um, this is something that I really thought about doing since um, I was about a teenager. It was around 1973, I think, when I was an eighth grader, that uh, they decided to finally award reparations to Japanese American people that had been interned in World War II. Um, I watched a bunch of Japanese guys walk out of the courthouse after winning that victory, and I said, "That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create justice for people that never got it," and that's got to be through the political process. So that was really probably the main reason I always knew this is something I was going to do. So I started running. I ran for office the first time when I was already 56 years old. So yeah, something I want to do, but there are realities of life. I had to make money. I had to account for certain personal things before I did this, and I believe that politics is something you can do better at an older age. That I do have colleagues that do a great job; they're in their 20s, but I felt for myself that while I was plenty smart in my 20s, I feel like I'm wiser now as somebody who's 60 years old. So I think this is the right time for me. I also felt like I should watch my kids grow up. So once my last kid went off to college, it was time for me to do this. So that's really a lot about why I decided to do this. As far as what I believe the role of government to be, is to provide structure for society. That without government, it's anarchy. So what's obvious to a lot of people are law enforcement, first responder type, fire department, things of that nature. But there's a lot of things below the surface that you don't even see. Things to do with that we're seeing now with unemployment benefits, Social Security Administration, at a federal, state, and local level. The wheels of government make a lot of things work that people don't even see. So that's really when I see how I fit into this. My background is completely in finance and business and economics. So there is no separating that world from the world of lawmaking. Uh, for better or worse, money touches everything. So what I bring here in particular is more than anybody they've seen in the legislature is heavy lifetime of experience in global finance at its highest levels. So that's something pretty unusual because generally people that come from that world don't want to give up um, the compensation to do something low paid like government. Um, I was willing to make that sacrifice. So, unlike other people with finance background, I'm sitting in the legislature to try to make laws and try to take care of some of our economic issues which have plagued us for my entire lifetime. The best part of my job is the satisfaction of doing the right thing. I've spent a lifetime in business on Wall Street, and there was one objective for that. That was to make as much money as possible for the company that I worked for, and they would pay me accordingly. So, um, after a lifetime of that, to be in a position where now my objective is solely to do good for the people of Hawaii, the only place I care about in the world, is really something that creates a lot of satisfaction for me. The worst part of the job is probably the fact that in Hawaii, being the small place it is, as a local politician, there's some notoriety. I'd rather be anonymous than go into Safeway and have people recognize me in my home district. So I would rather keep my privacy. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, that's one of the things that comes with the territory of being an elected official, is that people kind of recognize you. So, but yeah, I can live with that. But overall, I think I made the right choice. This is a great profession for people to consider if you really care about things, and um, this is a great fit for me right now, and I hope to be able to do this for the rest of my functioning work life. Hi, Dale Kobayashi, House Representative District 23. So for this part, I'd just like to show you kind of a little bit about what my workday is like here in the legislature. Fortunately, right now, we are in session as I speak. We reconvened a couple of weeks ago to address some of the issues related to the COVID-19 virus, as well as economic issues related to the lockdown of a lot of our businesses and our visitor industry. So we've been meeting here for a couple of weeks. By Friday, we'll be adjourned. So this is my workplace. This is my office here. It's called the Hawaii State Capitol Building. This was built in 1959, right when Hawaii became a state. Here's what they call the rotunda downstairs. I'm on the third floor, which is where state representatives sit, on the third and the fourth floor. Governor, I guess because he's up at the top of the food chain, is to the top of the building. He's on the fifth floor. We have senators down on the second floor. Our chambers are down here, Senate and House, on what they call the rotunda level. So when we have public demonstrations, that all occurs down here in the rotunda. So you might have seen that on TV as well. So basically, in my day, we have parking down the bottom of the building in the basement. I come in here, it's all locked down, so it's very secured. I have to do certain access to get into the building. The public's not allowed for the time being while they're dealing with the effects of the virus. I come up here to the third floor, and I just completed our floor session, which is down in the chamber. You might see it on TV, where we all sit at these long desks and vote on bills. So we just completed that. There weren't a lot to vote on. I have one of my colleagues that is going to be retiring at the end of the year. Bought us lunch and finished that, came up. Talked to a bunch of my colleagues about some of the bills that are out there that we're going to vote on for Friday. And just go to my office and start working on things. So we'll go over to my office, and I can show you some of what I do in there and what my office is like. So this is my office here on the third floor. We're in the kind of inner chamber. I was just talking to you out in the hallway. So some of the offices are out there, some are over here in the inner hallways. I kind of like it here because if you're out there, everybody can see who's coming in your office. I'm just a little more private here. So I'll show my office here and go on in. This is where we are here, Office of Representative Dale Kobayashi. It's there's a lot of variation in the offices that people have. We have kind of a hierarchical system. So if you look at those that have big chairmanships or that have been here a long time, a lot of seniority, they have huge offices, right? Suites with different rooms attached. I have not the smallest office, but I just completed my first term of freshman, so it's a modest office. My staff sits here right now. Because we're not on our main session, I have one staff that I'm allowed. It's Jolyn Rosa, my office manager. Maybe you can do a selfie of yourself so everybody can see you.
Nope.
Okay, so Jolyn and I work here together, and then I have an inner office, which is for my private meetings in here. And as you can see, I'm not the neatest individual, but I think it makes it look like you're busy and you work hard. If it's too neat, it's like, what are you doing all day? So this is where I talk to constituents. People come in. Right now we're locked down, but normally I have people coming in here all the time. They're sitting around, and we're talking about policy and different things that they want to do. All of this art you see here, this is the piece I'm most happy about. It's a local artist, Toru Abe, and it's comes from the state art people. So they have a large collection of local art that they buy from local artists, and they let us pick out what we want, and they put it up here. And next year we'll change it out if we get tired of it, but that's kind of what decorates our walls. And that's one of the things that people look for is that at least they get a view of something out here. I have like a little park out here I can see. Sometimes I get a view of some building next door, which isn't the greatest thing, or the street out in front of here. So I can't complain. And I guess as time moves on, and I have more seniority, I'll get bigger offices with better views. But I think it matters a lot to people here. To me, it's all about making laws. I mean, you can put me in a closet. If I can make laws, I could care less. So, but overall, this is the worst place to be. This is a freshman representative's office, and I hope to see you all here someday. We host once when things are normal and we're able to accept visitors. I have all kinds of people from schools. They bring people over, or other visitors from the community. This is the people's building. It's not my office. It's yours. So this is for anybody to come and talk to us and see us, and I hope to see you sometime in the future.